I'm going to start with probably my most favorite quote of all time. I maintain that truth is a pathless land, and you cannot approach it by any path whatsoever, by any religion, by any sect. That is my point of view, and I adhere to that absolutely and unconditionally. Truth, being limitless, unconditioned, unapproachable by any path whatsoever, cannot be organized, nor should any organization be formed to lead or to coerce people along any particular path. This is Krishnamurti. He's talking about issues that are much larger and more important than martial arts. But as I've said many times, issues with religion and issues with martial arts share many similar circumstances that it's useful and kind of unavoidable to look at comments like this. I've been doing martial arts a very, very long time. I've been practicing more than 40 years. I have been teaching for 33 years now. There's been times that I've been involved in organizations, I've been the heads of organizations, and there's been a long, significant time that I've stayed in my own cave and want nothing to do with them. Generally speaking, any organization on any level, the major flaw is the human beings that are involved in it. I don't want to sound negative, but I just want to discuss some of the things that I see in martial arts that just drive me absolutely insane, and they've always drove me actually. Even in a school, you're going to have people constantly vying for who is the most senior. Ultimately, it means nothing. Everybody wants the appeal to authority of, I'm the senior disciple of the most famous master. I've seen it over and over and over again. I mean, the most obvious example that you're all going to immediately know is that, Chante-san was very famous, very well known, and a lot of people want to be associated with him. People also want the secrets. But what's interesting is they don't want to share the secrets. My thoughts on secrets are very simple, very straightforward. If you've taught martial arts, you've probably taught something to someone, maybe several times, maybe several weeks, maybe several months, and people still have had trouble getting it. You can have students that have been training with you for a year, and there's still certain things they just don't get. So how are people going to steal your secrets? People didn't want it, before, people didn't want video cameras. Remember, before there was, cell phones, if somebody was a big video camera, it was a thing that you'd see, and people would say, oh my God, I'm being filmed, and they would want to change the form. Do you think that somebody can just watch you and steal your technique and understand it? Here's another one. If they can, well, what does that say? You have to be a very special person to be able to see something and understand what it is in the martial arts. These things are deep. They not just require body coordination. They require understanding things about how application works, how the body works. If somebody can steal your stuff, they must have some skill. I've been accused of stealing stuff. It's not an accusal, it's a fact. I've told people, I steal, but I only steal from the best. I've stolen tons of stuff. How do I steal it? Well, I have to understand it, right? I can't just watch you do something and know it, right? Especially if I didn't know anything, especially if I didn't have any skill in anything, right? People want to collect secrets, then what do? I mean, with Chante-san, for example, so many people vied for the position, for the politics, for the name, for the rank. People wanted to acquire secrets. And then 10 years later, how many of those people are teaching? Some of them aren't even practicing. So what are you going to do with those secrets? That's why Chinese martial arts are where they are right now. Because we wanted to keep everything secret and not pass it on. Well, if you don't pass it on, what happens to it? It dies. I don't understand it either, because I've been teaching 33 years. I have people that have been with me 18, 15, 16 years, 14 years, 13 years, and I can still show them stuff. There's still stuff. There's too much, honestly. As we sit and do outlines and we try to document everything, and I've been trying to do that because I don't want anything to be lost, and I want real Chinese martial arts to exist, I realize how large the task is, how much there is. So why would I hold anything back? I can't teach enough. I can't teach fast enough. What is this that people want to keep secrets? They don't want to have people come into the schools. They don't want people to have learned things. What is it about the pettiness of human nature? What is it about people that have this cognitive dissonance? People talk about things that happened 10, 15 years before they were ever involved in the martial arts because they heard a story. If I was in the room with someone doing something 15 years before you ever started studying martial arts, what do you really know about what happened in that room? The answer should be obvious. You don't know anything. Secrets are what kills systems. Politics is about being petty and small. And this means that people don't learn things and nothing gets done. You don't want somebody in your school because they might have skill and they might learn something. Be happy, because otherwise your teacher stuff is going to all die. I don't, again, I don't know where it comes from, because I've certainly seen it in my school, and there are people that didn't fit in my school and left. But then there are people that have been, like I said, with me 15, 16 years, and they're still very close buddies. And I want them to be that way. But then again, my school is not run on inheritance and rank and all this other stuff. And again, I'm the Krishnamurti has influenced my worldview, and I have discarded a lot of this stuff. I don't run the typical martial arts school. I don't tell people follow my method. I don't tell people this is my rank. But again, I don't believe in secrets. I've put stuff out. There's tons of stuff out there for people to learn. I know people that didn't want to teach the secrets. Great, so now you have all the secrets. And then they end up Zumba instructors in Florida. I'm not making that up. People that aren't training anymore. My teacher. Think about what they said about me and my teacher. Well, I abandoned him. I didn't abandon him. I was with him his entire life. Obviously, the last few years of his life, he was not actively teaching. So we weren't training with him, but I saw him. When my teacher was alive, he never had any problem with anything that I did. And why would you have a problem with doing it? That's the other thing also, everybody has their own school. Everybody's doing their own thing. I don't care. Why do you care about what I'm doing in my school? Why do you care about what I teach, how I teach? Why would you? It's ridiculous. Chante-san, right? Well, I didn't really study with Chante-san. That's a tough one, because every article that was published in the 80s and the 90s about Chante-san was written by me. Pretty much 90% of the performances that he did around the United States, I was with him doing the performance. I was his major chief translator most of the time when he traveled. So it would be very hard to say I never studied with him. What's important also, I studied with him, I studied with him, I studied with him. I've said it before, I don't really care about people that say they studied with him. But what did you learn? Well, for me, for example, let's stick about me. I don't care about other people, for the most part, unless you come shake my tree. If you don't like my apples, don't come shake my tree. Well, did I understand what Chante-san taught? Judge for yourself. I've explained all the theory behind everything that he's done. People have come and done seminars with me that train with other people that train with Chante-san, that learned other versions of Choi Fut or Lama Pai or other martial arts systems. Judge for yourself. Do I understand how the systems work? And can I teach you how to make them work for you? Which is the most important thing, too. That's the other thing. Is I don't care how many black belts I have, how many ranks, how many certificates on the wall. What's in it for me? That's what you should be asking. What's in it for you? Can I teach you so that you're better and that you learn something? Right? There are guys that are the world's best fighters and can't teach people how to fight. And there are guys that were never... Mike Tyson's coach, Customato, never fought a professional match. There's a story behind that and everything. He got injured in a fight or whatever. But did he have something valuable to teach? Of course he did. Look what he did. He produced not only... he produced several champions, not just Tyson. But, everybody knows him from Tyson. Judge for yourself. So, clearly I studied with Chante-san. Clearly I learned from him his method. And that's all that matters. Most senior adopted. Yeah, it's nice that I was adopted by him. And unfortunately, that's why I got so much attention, or I got adopted because I was getting the attention. Whatever you want to say about it. Personally, I don't believe in any of that anymore. I think that you should teach everybody as much as you can. And some people will stay with you and learn. But encourage that. Don't hold back secrets. Because secrets lead to dead systems. I just don't understand it. People are so insecure. person wrist locked me. So, you know what? I don't want them around here because they make me look bad. Really? I mean, nonsense. One of my classmates had lunch with a famous teacher. Um, Nobody's really sure what happened because it was just two guys in a restaurant, but maybe my classmate forgot to offer to pay. Some Chinese cultural faux pas. People that weren't there, that didn't even start training until 10 years after that event, talked bad about everyone in the organization because of one guy that was affiliated with that association. That's a true story. What possesses people to behave like this? I don't want to belong to any organizations because this is what they're about. I don't care about rank. I don't care about, being endorsed by anyone. I don't even need to be with anybody. I just need to be me with my students in a room teaching them. This is why I'm like this. Because it doesn't matter. And you know what? Send me a message talking about, well, I do this as... I don't care what you do. I don't care who you are. Do your thing. Be happy with what you do. If you mix karate with Wing Chun, who cares? I don't care. Why do you care about what I do? Why? I heard a story about something. Well, then you don't know anything. If you don't know the real facts, ask yourself, was I there? Is there video of it? Well, then how do I know what really happened? You don't. That's the point. So why do you care? Stop trying to be in everyone's business. This is the washing lady story. This is the crabs in the barrel. This is why Chinese martial arts are in the position they're in. Worry about servicing your students. If you're a teacher. What's amazing is people that aren't even teachers get involved in this. If you're just practicing, what do you care about anything? People love politics. They love gossip. They love nonsense. And that's why, for the most part, I don't have anything to do with anything. I'm going to continue to do what I do. I know where I got it. I know what I know about it. And I'm going to continue to service my students, teach them the best that I can. Don't send me messages telling me like, well, I heard about this thing, or I don't think you should be doing... I don't care what you think. You shouldn't care what I think. This is the problem with Chinese martial arts. This is the problem with associations. This is the problem with organizations. This is the problem with human nature. Have a wonderful weekend. Thank you for listening to my little rant.